is thicker than water. Can we be honest? Sometimes our families can get on our last nerve. Every once in a while, right? And this morning we've invited clinical psychologist Dr. Rich Hall, who has tips on keeping the peace at your Thanksgiving dinner. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
So, going into Thanksgiving, this is a time when, some families have no conflict, everything's always fine, but some thrive on conflict, and you just never know what to expect. So, going into Thanksgiving, if you're a little worried that there may be some conflict, how do you avoid that? What can you do to prepare yourself?
So, unfortunately, because conflict involves two people, you might not be able to avoid it. I always tell people the first thing that you can do is know yourself well enough to know what are my triggers, what are the things that activate me, what are the things that send me to, a full 5-alarm fire, everything's red, or what are the things that just kind of irk me, right? And if I know that, then I know the irkable things, maybe I can let those go, but if it's a big deal, then what do I need to do to manage myself so that I don't have to engage just because someone else wants to essentially press my buttons. And the thing about family is they know you better than most people, so they know your buttons. And sometimes they just like pressing them.
Yeah, or I think sometimes, is it true you think that maybe they don't even know that they're pressing them? It's
Sometimes
just kind of something
not.
That's been happening?
It's just the way they've sort of interacted with you or interacted with people, and they just don't even stop to think, unfortunately.
So that's great advice. So you're in control of yourself, you're not in control of everybody else.
Nope.
But what if you get in the middle of a conflict or it's going on around you? How do you manage that? Like if it's, an argument starts, do you remove yourself or how do you manage the conflict?
I think it's key to sort of know what is your capacity in the moment, right? And there are some moments where maybe I can power through. If I remind myself, well, we're all here for dinner, so if I'm just focusing on the dinner, then I could stay here and let that one go. Or if I realize it's really overwhelming for me, do I have a partner, right? Or a person who I could use as a wingman that can help get me out of a situation? One of the things I like to remind people, and I mentioned it here on the show before, is it's better to have a shield than a wall, right? Sometimes when we go in with our family, we want to have armor on, we want to have a wall up so that we can't be hurt. But a shield is better because if I know the patterns of the other person, then they're going to say something that's going to get me. And I can lower my shield when I need to, but I can also raise it when I want to give grandma a hug or when I want to connect with people. But if I keep a wall up, then it takes a lot longer to tear the wall down to have any kind of connection. So be kind of versatile in your responses as best you can.
I like that a lot because that leaves you open to, I can still have, I love grandma, but I may not necessarily agree with her on all these things, so I'm going to put this up when I need it, and I'll lower it when I want to give grandma a hug. And I love that. That's a great idea. Now, it may be difficult, but when is it appropriate when you feel like I just really need to step out, or I really need to separate? Maybe I don't even need to go to the dinner. When do you know?
I think recognizing, do I have the internal energy and or strength to navigate this experience? Now, very often we go because we like these people on some level, or we have history with them, or we want some level of connection with them. But it's also completely okay to say, I can tolerate them for an hour, but into 3 hours, it's going to be too much for me, right? And so once again, that's recognizing how much do I have the bandwidth to navigate this space. And if the day of I'm thinking I don't have it, then it's okay to bow out this year. Or if I want to try to tolerate, I want to try to get in and enjoy some of the time, but when I realize it's becoming too much, then I throw down my smoke bomb and get out of there.
Yep, okay. And just quickly, we don't have a lot of time left, but quick advice for handling holiday stress in general. What are your top kind of tips?
I think it's always remember the reason for the season, right? Okay. Sometimes we get so caught up in the pleasing others, the being there for others, but we also have to recognize, once again, what's our capacity, what's our ability, and what's the reason I'm doing this. And sometimes I'll think it's because I want other people to be happy, but also there's a part of me that's kind of built up in this too. So prioritizing the connection as much as I can, but if I don't have it, then it's okay for me to, once again, use the boundaries or barriers that help me to remain or feel healthy.
Yeah. That is great advice, all of that. Thank you so much for reminding us that before the holidays, especially Thanksgiving coming up. Yes. Dr. Rich Hall, you can find him at PsychWorks.
PsychWorks Clinic or PsychWorks LLC.
LLC, okay.
Most things.
And then, he's all over the social media.
On TikTok, Instagram.
A lot of great videos out there too, but the clinic as well here locally. Thank you so much, and happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you.
Hey there, thanks so much for visiting the Local 12 YouTube channel. Click the links, hit subscribe to get notified anytime we post content to this channel.